She's a real woman with a real life. She's someone you can relate to. Dawn Newton.
Hey, welcome to the Dawn Newton podcast. I am your host, Dawn Newton. She's a leading authority in the world of baking. She's a pastry chef and cookbook author. She's also the host of Magnolia Network's Zoë Bakes. Zoë François joins me. She's here to talk about her new show, her favorite recipes, and her top baking tips. Hey, Zoë, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
Oh my God, I'm doing so well. It's such a pleasure to talk with you. I'm just a little fangirl moment. I just got to say that because I love
so sweet.
I love your work. I love your personality and your skill in the kitchen. I admire the work that you and other, chefs like you do. So it's really a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Hey, and congratulations about your show, on the new show, Zoë Bakes on Magnolia Network. How cool is that? I think that's a dream come true for you as well.
It is absolutely a dream come true. I mean, it's all the things that I've ever wanted to do. I mean, it's a show about baking, which is my true love, but then it's also about my community. I mean, Minneapolis was built on the wheat farmers and the millers, and we have this really rich culture of baking in this town, and I don't think that many people know about it. So I get to go out and visit the farmers and the producers, the bakers. I go to church basements and people's houses and bakeries and get inspired by what everybody's doing and then come home and bake. So, yeah, it's been a total dream come true for me.
I think also cooking shows, chefs like yourself, shows like yours, gives us, the novices, the lay people that are used to boxed baking things, a whole new appreciation and understanding. I mean, the science behind baking, the tools that are used, the love of it. Where did your love of it come from?
Oh, that's such a good question. I mean, first of all, I grew up with parents that didn't let me eat sugar, and I didn't discover sugar until I went to kindergarten. And people were bringing it in their lunch boxes. And so I had an aha moment. And pretty much since kindergarten, I've been obsessed. And then I started baking at a really young age. It wasn't all edible, but I loved the process of it so much. And as I got older, it got better and better tasting. But I have always loved baking, and I didn't come from a house full of bakers, so I really needed to figure it out for myself and ended up going to culinary school and just making it my life.
Well, we're coming off the holidays and all the desserts and all of that, and we're starting those resolutions, and we want to, we've got other holidays coming. What are some things to transition us away from the heavy holiday stuff to spring and heading into summer that doesn't make us feel so weighed down? Yeah.
I mean, my resolution this year is to learn new techniques and new skills. And my husband and I are going to learn how to make cheese. So I think, we're going in the other direction. But there's, I think that there's all kinds of different ways to do that. I mean, whether it's just doing an angel food cake that's really light and airy and not so heavy, or taking the ingredients from that season and baking it into the perfect muffin. Learning how to bake your own bread so that you have total control over all of the ingredients, and plus it's just so much fun. So there's so many different ways to sort of bring the new seasons into your baking.
And talk to us about your vanilla extract. I'm going to be making that. And that's one thing that when you buy it at the store, the extract in the little bottle, I didn't realize that wasn't the real thing until you started educating us.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest problem I have with the pure vanilla extract at the store is, it's absolutely fine and should be used in recipes if you don't have your own. If you haven't made your own, but that bottle is so tiny. I would probably go through that in like a week. And so I like to make a really nice big batch of vanilla, and it's actually only 2 ingredients. So all you need are vanilla beans, and they should be nice and soft and supple. And all you do is slice them down the length of it and then scrape out the seeds, which are really dark seeds. You put that all into a bottle. The more the better, because the more you put in there, the more intense the flavor is going to be. And then the secret is you fill the bottle up with vodka and then just shake it. What you have to do is let that all mature together so that you get the extract from the vanilla. And that can take about 3 or 4 months. But then once it's done, you have the most amazing, rich, flavorful vanilla you've ever had with the little flecks in it. And you can keep that going forever. I have a bottle that I started in 2012, and I just keep adding more beans and more vodka. And I just had it going forever and ever, and I use it every day.
You had me at vodka, so I think that's definitely going to be a staple in our kitchen.
That's awesome.
Some of your top baking tips. There's some things that I've learned recently that I didn't realize was important. Yeah. Weighing ingredients versus, just digging in with that measuring cup. I had no idea.
Well, using a scale, which if you've seen my show, you will know that I am so in love with my baking scale. And, you can use cups, but the scale is consistent. It's easy, less things to clean up. And, it's one of those things that once you start baking with a scale, you'll never go back to cups. So I just love it. The other tip that I have for people, especially new bakers, is read through the whole recipe. That way you know what temperature your ingredients should be, you know what equipment to have on hand, and you just won't be surprised as you're making or baking your dessert.
What does this work mean to you, Zoe? I mean, you're touching so many people and bringing so much, you're taking us on a journey that we didn't know we needed.
Yeah, thank you. I have to say that one of the things that I discovered is, I love to bake. I love to bake for other people. But I think the thing that brings me the most joy is teaching other people to bake, is watching other people create something in their kitchen and get that same amount of joy and love from doing it that I feel. And so sharing all of the tips and techniques that I have learned over the course of my career on the show, and then having people get in touch with me and say that they baked it. I mean, that is the best thing that I could think to happen, is watching other people bake.
Well, it's amazing. And it just brings people together. I mean, I still have, it was handed down to me, my grandmother's bread bowl that's well over 100 years old. Not a fancy bowl, amazing. But it's still, don't touch it. It's in the corner. Don't ever dust up there. Just leave it and admire it. Don't ever.
Yeah. No, I mean, that bowl has so many stories in it. I mean, yes. It's heard everything. It's made the most amazing. It's just full of love. That bowl is just full of love.
Well, Zoë François, it's been such a pleasure talking with you. When and where can we tune in to watch your show?
You can find me on the Magnolia Network on Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
Well, again, it's such a pleasure. Congratulations, and I look forward to maybe talking to you in the future. Thank you, Zoe.
I can't wait. And happy baking. Enjoy.
Hey, thanks for listening to the Dawn Newton Podcast, and a special thank you to my guest today, Zoë François, for all things Zoe. Be sure and visit her website, zoebakes.com, and be sure and check out my website, dawnnewton.org. The Dawn Newton Podcast is written, produced, and hosted by Dawn Newton.